Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 7, where it turns out I was a bit wrong about something from the previous time. I had assumed that my status would not necessarily be affected by the 6th place position that I had gotten on that last race of the Sport Touring set. As you notice, now I actually have a complete 4,000 points. That's because I went back after I had recorded last episode and just focus on getting first for every race, because 200 points is a lot in the long run. If I acquire the same difference from one race set to the next, I will end up coming up short if I project the exact same amount of success from one set to the next. So what I might end up doing is, if it turns out like I don't get first for every single race in a set, I might go back to redo it later. I don't know what that necessarily means in regards to how I plan to use the rewind feature, because if I plan to be able to go back and redo the races that I don't really do so well, just for the sake of progress, then it doesn't matter too much what I do while I'm trying out these courses live, so to speak. But we'll see where we go. For now, though, let's slow things down with some off-road vehicles.
Built more for racing than hauling dirt. These are basic working trucks tuned up to be wider, bigger, and more powerful. And when you need to leave the pavement behind, these trucks will get you back to nature in a hurry.
Is this Project Scorpio? Of course I'm going to have to choose this truck. Back in the day when was Project Scorpio the name for the code name for the Series X and S? Might as well stick with it.
You'll never get better just racing weaker opponents. Now, how about challenging yourself by pushing up the difficulty?
I said I was going to increase it the next time I was offered. I said I'm not going to, because I exploited the rewind feature quite heavily to make sure that I had gotten those first place scores in that previous set. And I don't plan on doing it while I'm recording. That's pretty much the main difference. As it turns out, I feel as though I'm pretty good at holding the lead, but getting to it is a little bit trickier. I also started messing around with mods a little bit more. We're just going to focus on the ones that can make us some more credits. And this is a night race, so we could burn through that one right away. But yeah, when I was focused more on just getting the position, I don't know what that means. It looks like I'm gonna have to grab a different car then. Alright, let's buy ourselves... This one looks kind of cool. Let's take a look at the handling. Yeah, that one might be the way to go. How expensive is this? Okay, I can afford it. Good. All right. But yeah, once I get in front, I seem to do very well. But if I'm behind, I'm not very good at catching up. $14th out of 14th place. Wow. Not exactly a great place to start, but let's, we've just halved our ranking. And jumped up to 6. Very narrow track, considering all these wide trucks that are on it. And then let's pass up the 5th, the 4th. Thank you for the push. Alright. I think I should be fine for this track, especially considering it has 4 laps. If it had only had 2, then I think I would be kind of screwed over. Not quite the best turn, but it'll do. For now. Though I admit it's kind of hard to tell in regards to where my positioning is, considering how dark it is and how narrow the track is. Like, once I get to the areas that aren't quite that light, I feel as though the darkness of this car helps it blend in with the background. A little bit more than I'd like in regards to making sudden decisions. And that turn is definitely not going to help me in regards to catching up with 2nd place, let alone 1st. Definitely did not help out my split time. But if I do intend to have the capability of replaying a set of races, then I suppose I might as well just play these races out. See how I actually do without forcing myself. Oh my gosh, I might rewind that one. I think I was hoping, again, I keep hoping to kind of glance off of but it doesn't really work out that well. Alright, at the very least the split time is technically faster. Though at this rate, also having a 2nd place finish, or even if I waited okay, technically that worked. Or even a 3rd place finish in the first track isn't going to affect my points out that badly. It's just that in the previous set I had gotten my 6th place like all the way at the all the way in the last race, which is the highest scoring of the group. And that affected my total points harder than it would have if I'd gotten a worse ranking in the first race. Ah, that's a giant oil container. I've seen those before. Alright. Let's equip some mods. Let's buy some mods. Do I have... Sure, that might happen once. Me performing a perfect turn. It's possible. It has happened. It's just not something that happens that often. Maybe once a race. Maybe twice a race. Damn you, Heineken truck. Let's swoop. Okay, note to self. Don't accidentally hit the rear view button when you're coming up to a turn. That's very disorienting. Wow, these trucks are so wide. There is barely enough room for more than one on the track. But I suppose that is what the race announcer promised at the beginning of there was wide trucks. Also, excuse me, Jurassic Park driver, your car is on the wrong island. All right, forced our way into third place, which was a little bit tricky considering... Oh my gosh. No, Jurassic Park driver. I already passed you. Somehow my split time is better. Oh, son of a... Stop spinning. Wow. I attempted to hold on to whatever it is I was holding on to. And that clearly did not work. And I only have now 1 1/3 lap. To reacquire my positioning that I had gained and lost. Which, in theory, is possible. But at the same time, I feel as though every time this game is like, hey, maybe we should turn up the difficulty. And then I'm there saying, you know, maybe you're calling it a little bit too soon. But in theory, I should be able to pass by Jurassic Park. pretty soon. Don't think I'll be able to pass by... Oh my gosh, Jurassic Park went right into the sand. Cannot recover from that one. Even if you wanted to. Alright, third place for the second race. That shouldn't be too bad. That shouldn't hold back my score that much. Yeah, only 40 points. But like I said, I can always go back. And also one other thing I realized while I was... I only made one of the mods. When I was doing the race for first place. Was even though it enabled success in regards to that scoring system, it would have made for a less interesting race. Not to mention, from both, I would say, the gameplay perspective as well as the viewing perspective. And actually, since the race shop just restocked, let's grab that. Stay on track for a race? Good luck with that one. Okay. So let us carry on. Hope for the best, expect the worst. And relax. Take it easy. We don't have to vie for... Oh my, this is a narrow street. All right. Oh. There we go. Wow. That definitely made for a very narrow beginning. There... No. Damn you, Jurassic Park, I will catch you. But yeah, if I'm just in front of everybody, and I think that's also one of the reasons why the game is like, hey... Son of a... I will pass Jurassic Park. Why the game is like, hey... Why not up the ante a little bit? Why not raise the difficulty? Is because if you're always in the lead by yourself, it does not necessarily make for an interesting race. You might as well just be racing alone at that point. Thank you for the bump. Alright, 3 laps to get first place. We're almost there. I have a good feeling that I will be able to for this track. Especially considering it's giving me 5 laps to do it. Like if this was, yeah, if it was just, this was just 3 laps, oh, never mind, I would actually be able to do it in 3. Wow. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Still, whatever the hell I just did has given me quite a little bit of a lead. So I can't argue with results. Even if the results were due to crazy stupid. And also damaging the crap out of this car. There we go. There we go. Excellent. One more lap, and this was an interesting race to set this particular vehicle in, considering how narrow these streets are. Like, even if these cars aren't necessarily as fast, like, it did make for a little bit more of an interesting race because of how congested it was. Which I suppose means that that says more about me than it does about the racing, I would argue. That probably means I'm more into rally racing than the Indy 500, I suppose. Or like any kind of racing where trading paint more often is expected. All right. Yeah, still didn't do that perfect turn. One day that card is just gonna sit in my mods, in my equipped mods for like race after race. And then one day be used. And it's raining, of course. Eventually it gets to the rainy days. I think I've got a mod for that. Nope, that's for a night race. Alright. Let's throw down for better rewards. And top 3. There we go. And the first turn is to the right. 6 laps, I think, is what that said. So it's a relatively simple track. All right, I'll get past you that way. That was an excellent start. Oh, only 5 laps. Still, not a bad way to start a race. Although, what was I saying in regards to a race not being particularly as interesting if you start off in the lead? I suppose that's more towards, like, the expectation that I would most likely make mistakes. Which is often the case. I think the next time I receive the genuine, like, invitation for Drivatar increase in difficulty is when I'm going to consider doing so. Because so far I have proven that it is not necessarily... that my success is not necessarily the rule. It is quite often the exception. Sometimes dictated just how well I do in the first... Almost, there we go. How well I do in the first straightaway tends to be very emblematic of how well I do for the entire race. Like, it's been very rare that I not clear out most of the racers and still have a chance at first place. Like, there still are occasions in which I'll find myself trailing behind the 4th or 5th place racer, unable to kind of catch up with them. But even when I do stupid stuff that results in me, like in the previous race, like I crashed into the first place driver, spun completely around, and was still able to turn around in the right direction and leave all the competition behind. Which, if I wasn't in that position, I wouldn't have been able to make that kind of trade-off, because whoever would have been in first place would have simply been able to have gotten farther and farther away from me. Like, being in front for me means I don't have to drive perfectly, whereas being in back generally means I find myself having to drive better than I'm normally capable of. Though, I've definitely gotten a lot of practice. I don't think I'm at the point in which I can really remove that racing line, or at the very least the brakes. That is going to require probably way more practice than I'm willing to invest into any video game. Not just this one. Arguably any video game. But I can still do little things to increment the difficulty, especially now considering I'm way ahead of everybody behind me. So that's why I'm saying, at the very least, the next time the game says, hey, maybe you should increase that Drivatar difficulty. And you know what? Considering how far behind, like, I can see the second place guy right now. I just saw him on, like, the other opposing track. It would make sense for me to do so at this stage of my life, as a Forza driver, as an amateur Forza racer. Heck, there was even a point, not even early on, for a good amount of the game in which, if it was raining, just expect me to rewind like every once per track. And I've managed to make it by without doing so. Alright, I think there's, what, 2 races to go for this set? Or 1. Probably 2. Yes. We're on number 5. The one with the Ferris wheel in the background. Alright, let's equip some mods. We're going to put on improved race rewards. And that's it. Oh, I did not bother to check which direction the first turn is. It looks like it should be to the right. Alright, let's stick over on the right side for now. Alright, we're in second place. Sorry to whoever I just ran off the road. This one's a little bit loopy, I gotta say. Makes it a little bit of a tricky race to, catch up. Although maybe I just need to improve. There we go. Are there two Jurassic Parks? That one's just advertising Jurassic World Evolution, that's all. The other one's the genuine article. That one's advertising Ford. One of these days, I'll just do a perfect turn on accident, and the game is going to be like, wow, you did one. Maybe. That's what I'm hoping for. But it seems I'm not particularly good at doing the good turns. So maybe I was ambitious, expecting myself to even be able to do one perfect turn. Alright. Stayed ahead. Didn't make any too terrible mistakes. Though that series of just slight turns is very tricky. Like, sharp turns are easy to figure out because you know that you're going to have to slow down for them, regardless. Whereas this one, this set of turns is a little bit trickier. Since you don't want to slow down that much, since your car can handle, at the very least, some amount of speed. But not too much, because it's also a relatively narrow track, to the point in which you'll just slide off the road. And it seems I have gained some distance on my competitors. Ooh! A perfect turn. It existed somewhere in that moment. I could not precisely tell you when the perfect turn existed, or what I did to acquire it. But I see a nice blue check mark over perfect turn 1 out of 1. So that means it's done. Good job, me. And it only took 5 tracks to get a single perfect turn. Good enough. For now, though, let's cash in that reward as well as the other mod, as the race is just about long. All right. Got some extra bucks. And it's on to race number 6. Oh no, that perfect turn card had 3 uses. I'm never gonna get rid of it. It's too useful. All right. A relatively simple race, though. What can we toss on? Yeah, we can toss on more XP. And 5th or better. All right. First turn is to the right. Otherwise, this particular track is fairly simple. Or should I say fairly straightforward. Didn't quite switch over to the right as quickly as I wanted. That's okay. We'll squeeze in between this truck. There we go. Alright. Oh, that car had Mr. Bump on the side. Damn it. I got passed. Holy crap, I got passed up by a whole bunch of people, that one. For my extremely wide turn. Excuse me, folks. Can you please get out of the way? I was hoping I was going to be able to collide with the Humvee. But that did not work out. Either way, we're in 5th place. Jurassic Park is ahead of us. And beyond him, Jurassic World. I presume, at least. Jurassic World has been doing pretty well this race. Much better than Jurassic Park, which, unfortunately... Is that the case? Has Jurassic World made more money than Jurassic Park? Because I feel that might actually be true. Okay, not quite as terrible as the previous time, but still not necessarily good. Yeah, at this rate, I'm definitely not making any perfect turns in this race. And I don't even want to look at the left side of my car, as it is probably in shambles. Though I might be able to catch up with the first place driver pretty shortly. And it is, in fact, a Ford, not a Jurassic World. But that's okay. Oof. Yeah. Definitely not the cleanest race. There is a mod for clean driving. I clearly do not exemplify that. But I think, yeah, the next time it offers, like, hey, want to upgrade that Drivatar difficulty, I will definitely take it. Try it out. See how things go. Though these drivers aren't exactly that far behind, so never mind, they actually kind of fell back. No, I will not stay in my lane sign. I will change lanes all over the place. At the very least, for the next 2 seconds. There we go. And see, the camera was nice to show the right side, which also is missing some paint.
Racing excellence deserves recognition, and you got it. Outstanding.
All right, first place. Fantastic. Only fell back during that one race. I also don't think I intend to actually go through this set again, because I only kind of lost 40 potential points, which isn't that much. Like, 200 potential points was a lot for that first set. But 40 potential points, I can live with that. In the meantime, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.